Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to another one of our little project podcasts. Hopefully, we're going to be on for a little while this afternoon rather than it just shutting down on us, but you never know. We're on Facebook, aren't we? Um, just actually done a podcast which is going out this evening with former Premier League referee Mark Halsey, who's a QPR fan. So that'll be in the group a little bit later. It's premiering on YouTube at 5:30 UK time, so it'll be out later. We'll put it in to the group, or you can just go and have a look at it on YouTube yourself if you want. Nice to see you. We're just going to have a little look around now, like we usually do. See who's around, see if I can find anyone. The normal thing, you know. You know what it's like on Facebook. We've got one viewer so far, so come on and say hello to me. Come on, where are you guys? Come and say hello. Let's have a little chat about Saturday's game. See what you think. Um, See you want to throw under the bus, eh? Give it a little bit of a spin. See who's there. Two viewers. Woo! Okay, come and say hello if you're there. Let me know that you can hear me loud and clear, and that you can see me, and that you want to have a chat. Um, Definitely a hard game on Saturday. I think if you were a neutral, it's a game you would have enjoyed because it was a good game. Um, it had got a lot of there was incident in it. There was a lot of attacking football in it, and it was two teams that weren't going to go and just like let the other team play. It wasn't going to be like that at all, and we had a really good um, good game of football, which at times was end to end. We started slowly again, which is really annoying, isn't it? I mean, all of us feel that, and I don't know what we can do about it really. We're 2 minutes in, I haven't got a comment yet. Please let me see your comments. If you can comment, come and say hello. I want to hear from you. If you don't want to speak, that's fair enough, and we can just leave it. Apparently, we got a comment. I can't see it anywhere. Let me have a look. Hi, it's Paul James. How you doing, Paul? Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you on the channel. Yeah, I didn't actually tell anyone we was going to do this. I didn't know what time I was going to be finished with Mark Halsey today, so I've just left Mark in the studio, and here I am now having a little chat with you guys. So Saturday's game is what we're going to be talking about, the Southampton game. Um, it was a disappointing result, absolutely no doubt about that. And we have to learn from these sort of games. We had a slow start again. I mean, people are saying they don't understand. Are you doing, Pete? You all right, mate? Pete Marsh. People say they don't understand why it's so different at home. Well, I mean, the obvious answer to that is we're at home. I mean, that's why home is an advantage because the atmosphere is different. Um, the whole thing is different. It's a pitch you're used to. It's a ground you're used to. That's the difference. But we do start slowly, and I think on Saturday we just gave them a little bit too. We gave Southampton a little bit too much respect early on in the game. I think we stood off them a bit, uh, let them play in front of us, which isn't the way we play. I mean, we like to get forward now as quickly as we can. We use Beagle on the long ball a lot more. Um, and the other thing as well, when you throw players forward like we do, you're going to sometimes get caught out. It's one of the, it's how, it's one of the risks you take when you play the game that we play. Um, I've seen someone earlier, actually it was Harry Parker, if you're coming on, Harry. I did see you saying that we should play with three centre halves. I mean, I just do not understand that at all. It's like playing a low block, with the players we have. Why on earth would we do that? I mean, we've got some lovely footballers. That ain't the way we get. No way, man. I don't think that our boss will never play that game. Um, the 4-2-3-1 that we play works. We've seen this. We free scoring. We've got Gray and Roberts playing out of their skins at the moment. Stansfield's had a hard time because he's got nothing to work with really. Um, uh, Paul James is the defenders are slow backing up Beadle. Well, I mean, I made a comment about 10 minutes ago. Someone had put that Beadle was at fault for the second and third goals. Well, of course he wasn't. I mean, the second one, again, you know, there's no way Armstrong should be picking that ball up where he does, but he hit the shot, and I have to say, Lord Beadle could have done better with it. It went through his hand. I think he was on. I think he was a bit unsighted when I look back at it. But anyway, you know, he could have done better with that. But to say he's at fault for the third one is an absolute joke. I mean, and this is where we know that people like at the first opportunity, people are going to slate Beadle. We know they are. So don't pretend that you're not doing it when you do it, because we know it's what you do. Um, Beadle is one. Cochrane's starting to get a little bit of it now. We've seen it with other players before, and you know it's not Beadle's fault he gets picked. It's not Beadle's fault he's a really good goalkeeper, but it is your fault for not backing a player and you know being the first ones to put the boot in. The third one was actually a really good save by Beadle from Aziz. It was a good save. He struck the ball really well. Aziz got down, and are you doing, Jay? Uh, Aziz hit the ball. Beadle got down. It was a good save with his right hand, and it deflected out. And I mean, honestly, what again? Armstrong standing on his own on the penalty spot without a centre half near him. He was in front of Neumann. You know how he got there. Don't ask me. I don't know. He wasn't picked up. You know their main striker, and he's there just to put the ball in the back of the net. You know, and then that's Beadle's fault. That is. There's not a mention of where was Clara and Neumann. Nah, it's Beadle's fault because he made a really good save. And get this, the guy that made the comment said, well, you know, he's done that before. When he makes saves, he pushes them into the middle of it. Do you think when he goes down and he makes a save like that, he's looking to see where Armstrong is? No, because he's thinking the defenders are going to be right in front of him, but they're not. He made a save. Where it deflects to, you don't, you know, if it's a slow ball and you're punching it, you can see where you're punching it. When it's a shot like that, you think you have a choice of where you deflect it to. Of course, you push it away if you can, but you can't always do that. Gets my fucking goat, to be honest with you. How you doing, Paz? Yeah, mate. I think it was a funny game. Like I said, I mean, if you take out the first half an hour, I know you can't, but if you took the first half an hour out of that game, well, it would have been a 1-1 draw, wouldn't it? But I think we had enough in that game to win it, and even at 3-1 down, we could have got back in it. And you know, going back to the Beadle thing, you know, someone put in on Saturday night. I was actually out having a drink and I had to respond to it. I couldn't stop myself. And the guy said, you know, Beadle at fault for 2 goals. You know, fucking doesn't really understand the game. At fault for 2 goals. You know, he's always doing that. Blah, 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 blah. But then the next paragraph, he says, I feel really sorry for Kyogo, you know. I mean, when's his luck going to change? It's like, you know, like the guy missed 2 completely open goals. Listen, I love him as much as anyone else. How many open goals does Kyogo have to miss before we have to think about, you know, what we're going to do with him? I loved him coming on, and when that ball dropped to him, with no one in the net, no one in the goal, it was a little bit fast, and it was coming from height, but honestly, he could have trapped it and rolled it in. You know, I just don't know what he's got to do to score, and he is unfortunate. But is it? You don't know. I think he's had I'd say he's had 11 really good chances to have scored, and those, let's say it was 6. Those 6 goals would probably elevate us to about third place in the league. Have a look at it like that. Jay's saying, even though we lost, we still had a great day. Um, Yeah, you know, I think Jay, you know, away games are always great, mate. You know, I've been doing them for years and years and years, and it's always a good day out. It always makes me laugh when people come back though and go, oh, you know, we're just back from South, like you know, it's returning soldiers. fucking hell, like, it's an absolutely brilliant day. Don't pretend that you haven't enjoyed it or something. And if we lose, we lose. We Blues fans, we're used to doing that. Some of you that have only supported us for 2 seasons, and it's a bit different. But we know what it's like to go away and lose. Fucking hell, mate. I've been standing in the pouring rain on the open end, on the cowshed end at Wigan on a Tuesday night doing the conga. Don't tell me what it's like to go away and lose. I know what it's like. But yeah, I mean, we've got a great support, and I thought our supporters were brilliant. Um, it's hard to fire yourself up when you go 2 goals down in 20 minutes. It was a very, very difficult start to the game, but they have some very good players. Aziz and Armstrong are a real danger, and and you can tell that they're quality players. I mean, this team, they bring a 15 million ex-Villa player on, off the bench. This is a Premier League team, and the manager's got them firing now. They've won 5 games in the last 6. You can't say, that. I don't know what you can say if you think like that they were crap. I mean, Southampton at the moment are probably the form team in the table. Um, Sam, how you doing, Sam? I hope you and the missus are all right, mate. Just got back from Venice, I think. I was looking at your photos the other day. Um, you know what, Sam? I don't know if it's a mindset. Uh, I don't know. You could be right. I mean, you have to go out there and really want to go at the opposition and win. Now, just talking to Mark Halsey, who's a QPR fan, and Mark was saying, well, I won't spoil it, but you can listen to the podcast yourself later. But he was saying pretty much everything we say about Blues. He was saying about QPR. They're level with us in the league at the moment, and on points, we've got exactly the same record. We just got a better goal difference. Jay saying Blue Noses were the best as always. It's a long, long road. Well, it is. Listen, mate, it's a long, 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 long road, right? And you're just at the beginning of it. Some of us at the end of it, nearly. And not looking forward to to not being able to go to games again. Thanks very much, Sam. Really appreciate it, mate. Thank you. And yeah, nice one, mate. Um, so we this is what it's all about. And I made a comment at the start of the season. I said this is going to be a really poor championship, and I stand by it. It is, and I'm not saying it's not a competitive championship. It's not a good quality championship. We're having to. Every team is very, very similar, and anyone can go up. A run of 3 games will get you into the promotion race, and it's going to be a hard slog. But this is something we have the quality to go up this season. I've said it all along. Jay Tibbs saying I think it's confidence, Steve. It has to be in my opinion. And Dad was on about it. What else could it be? I don't know if it could be. They could be scared to. You don't want to give those goals away. But I think it's concentration, it's not confidence. Um, the 2 centre backs were switched off at times on Saturday. Like I just said a few seconds ago, Beadle makes a really good save, and Armstrong, scores the rebound, not from 2 yards out, from the penalty spot. How can a player like Armstrong not have a player in front of him that far out? I mean, it's just ridiculous. And it just made Aziz's goal. And Finn Aziz, who, by the way, is another ex-Villa player, the Irish lad, he's a really good player, he is. Pete Marsh is saying it's terrible in the corporate seats on Saturday. Yeah, well, you're getting grief, Pete. What's the stadium actually like? I've been there. I can't remember what it was like. I know it's like, if you think you build a bowl like that, you're not building it with much confidence if you're only making a 30,000 all seater, are you? Oh no. Well, actually, Paul, that's a really good point that Paul James is making there. Millwall are third with -3 goal difference, and that is nuts, because it shows you what this division's about. Like I said, I was talking to Mark Halsey a few minutes ago, and they got beaten 7-1 by Coventry earlier in the season, and they got the same points as us. Uh, he is a nutty league, and of course we've had three. I think we've won four of our last six games or something like that. We're still on a good run. We're still 2 points behind third place, I think, or something like that. This division is there to be taken. The thing to take away from these games is there's not. We've played nearly every one of the hard of what I consider to be the hardest away games this season. Um, so now, starting today with QPR, and listen, I'm not taking anything away from QPR. They have some quality players that we can talk about in a minute. JT be saying there was a railing between me and the home fans. Fucking hated it. Well, what did you want to do, Joe? You wish it wasn't there. You could smash the faces in, mate. Um, QPR got some good players, you know. Kone is playing really well. Borrell up the front, the big Jamaican lad, scored 9 goals, I think, this season. Elias Chair, what a quality player he is. I love Elias Chair. We were looking at him a few seasons ago. I wish we'd have bought him. They've got Poku on the bench. They've got a few others. You know, they're a good side. They are a good team. But I think Kone's injured tomorrow, so he won't be playing. And he's a nice player. Of course, he was with uh, who was he with last season? Wickham. Jay's saying he bumped into Tony Ratley and Jimmy had a proper disco on the coach. I was howling, Steve. Tony gave me and Dad a cuddle. He's a good lad, Tony, mate. I was talking to him last night. What a lovely lad, Tony. He's one of our unsung heroes at the Blues. Him and Keith from the Zulu in the community, you know, they did so much to save us from the Chinese. You'll never know what they did, honestly. What a pair of heroes. Tony Ratley deserves, British. He should be the mayor of Birmingham, shouldn't he? Tony. I look a little bit like. Look at this. This is my mayoral chain. Look. What do you reckon to it? I'll put this on because I don't wear this very often. I'll wear this like if I go. You see what it is? I wear it if when I go to games or something. I don't often. I don't. I'm not like. I don't wear a lot of outlandish jewellery or nothing, but I'll put this on tonight because every time I go out with this on, people ask me where I got it from. So I got this from John Francis, who is Amazon Gold. If you want a piece like this I think is 6 grams. It's a belcher chain. I love this, I do, and I like silver as well. So you can just give him a little shout because he'll always do stuff to order as well. He's got some wonderful things. Some of the rings are beautiful. KRO rings are fantastic. So John Francis, if you want to have a chat with him. Paul James, is it just Cochrane that's out? Is he the only one? He is, yeah. Cochrane's out, Mike. Jay saying, yeah, he should, and you, Steve, chairman of the board. Oh, no, I don't think Jeremy Dow will be too happy about that. Cochrane's out tomorrow, and the interesting thing is who is going to step in to take his place. I've got a feeling after seeing him play what I thought was really well after he came as a substitute on Saturday, I think Robinson, he's the one for that position on tomorrow night. He's played left back many times. He's got a good left foot. We know he's competitive. He's just got to use his fucking head a bit. Like the manager said, what a wonderful bloke he's to have around the squad as well. He's so positive. But he got forward really well, didn't he? He hit the post, almost scored, and he was going wide on the left. And I liked how he looked, Robinson, when he came on. And the other thing I forgot all about it is what a great throw he's got, hasn't he? That's like an additional weapon, isn't it? They give away a throw in on that side. It's like having a free kick. So I think Robinson will come in. Although don't rule out Asai Samuel playing at left back because he can. He's done it before, hasn't he? And so has Laird, of course. Um, so I'm looking forward to yeah, have a little look at the podcast later. I'm going to put it into the group at 6:30, at 5:30 ish. But if you want to watch it as a premiere, it's on YouTube at 5:30. It's me talking to Mark Halsey, who's a former Premier League referee. Mark is the referee that sent off um, John Dublin when he headbutted Robbie Savage. Do you remember that at Villa Park? It was funny. He was talking about it earlier. So tune into that later. You'll enjoy that. Um, Yeah, so I don't know what we take away from Saturday, really. I think we have to. The gaffer needs to just sit down and reevaluate things sometimes. I'm not saying he doesn't. He's one of the most thorough managers that's in the league. But, when you get a lot of the supporters, you know, having a moan, and I see the game slightly differently to a lot of people. I'm always very, very positive about the Blues, and always take the good things out of it. But I do notice what goes wrong. Of course, I do. Uh, Jay saying Cochrane was out of his depth on Saturday. He's a great player, but Southampton are a good side. I don't know if he was out of his depth. I mean, it was his ball that Jimmy Gray scored from, like it was the previous day, the previous game against Watford. So I wouldn't say that. Sean Wilson saying we ball number. I think we ball number three. Sean, I might be wrong, um, but I wouldn't say Cochrane's out of his depth, Jay. But I would say he's not a Premier League left back. I was saying this the other day. You build for championship victories now, not Premier League, and I think Cochrane is a good player. He's got a lovely left foot. He hasn't got the pace, and sometimes you see people saying about Cochrane that he doesn't stay close to his man. He gives him room, and that's because he hasn't got the pace. So imagine you've got your quick winger here, right? And he's going down the line, and we've got Cochrane here. Now, Cochrane can go across, match him for pace, and try and take him out on the tackle. But because Cochrane hasn't got the pace, when the winger's here, heading in towards goal, Cochrane has to just keep going to cut him off. So often the ball's delivered before Cochrane gets to it. It's just that he hasn't got the pace. If Cochrane was pacier, he would be like he's a really good left back anyway. He is. But I think and I don't know, like saying he's out of his depth. He's a little bit harsh, but Southampton are a very good side, and I think you have to sometimes just say that you've been beaten by a better side, and I think we were on Saturday. And I don't think there's many teams that are better than Southampton in this division. And we can see Ipswich starting to turn it on now, and even Sheffield United are. So, we're going to have probably six teams, seven, eight teams that are going to have a little bit of a gap soon. We need to be one of them. It was interesting to see Coventry beaten 3-0 as well. But, so it's not all as easy as it looks, is it? JT be saying, oh yeah, Defo, he's a great player, but you've got an ex-Prem team, it showed. Not saying to drop him, like you said, it's the pace. He's got a cracking left foot. Yeah, he's got a wonderful left foot. He plays some beautiful balls, and he's intelligent. It often helps him. I think Cochrane's a better defender when Anderson plays wide left, because Anderson just works well with Cochrane. He covers him deeper. Dimmy is very, very attacking minded, especially at the moment. I think he's been told by the boss, just get forward, and he does. He's taking players on. And the confidence to hit that right footed shot on Saturday when we're 2-0 down really didn't look like, it's not a position you would shoot to score from. And he picked his place perfectly. What a player Dimmy Gray is. Coffee time. Um, what a great player Dimmy Gray is, and he's proving what a wonderful boy he was. People were saying at the start of the season, Gray. Our supporters sometimes might be wondering, it's like when we lose a game, it's not the end of the fucking world, like, and it isn't. Um, like I said, some of us have been here for years and years and had to put up with shit. So, you support the team, not the result. Um, so I've got a feeling Robinson's going to be playing left back tomorrow. Uh, I hope he is, to be honest, because like when we go forward and when we're out of possession, and interesting, we play the same way that QPR do. So they'll be looking, they'll let us play football. So when we come out of, when we're in possession, we go to three at the back. Now Robinson is a good centre half as well. He's only 6 foot. I mean, Jesus. Anyone think I was like 6'2" or something? He's 6 foot, which isn't big for a central defender. But when we have the three at the back, when we attack, he's better option as a centre half than Cochrane. When we're attacking, Cochrane is the left-sided centre half, and I think Robinson's better at that job. And he's a good player. Listen, you can't like never forgive a player for being hot-headed. It's happened. He's paid his price for it. Don't carry it on. He's a good footballer. Don't carry it on. Uh, he hasn't played badly in any game other than being a bit stupid. Um, the other option, of course, is Ian Cashin, and we haven't seen him play for a while. He might have been really good in training. We don't know. We've got to wait and see, haven't we? Paul saying I still think we'll be thereabouts near the end of the season due to squad depth. So I'm fairly sure we'll be active. Yeah, active in the transfer market. I think so. I think we're going to bring a striker in. Now we obviously don't know who he is yet, but I'm sure the club will have one or two targets that they're already working on. Um, Also, as well, guys, stop saying like get rid of Kyogo in the transfer window. Get rid of you can't just get rid of players who have got 3-year contracts. What you think they're going to do? Say, oh yeah, okay, then I'll go. I'll give my wages up. Off I go somewhere. They don't do that. Be sensible. Don't make stupid comments. You can't just get rid of a player. Um, if someone comes in for a player that's played 19 games, some as substitute, and has scored one goal, and they want to sign him and they want to take him on loan, okay, fair enough. If they want to pay his wages, if they want to pay what he cost us, then fair enough. But usually, who's going to do that? It's January. You think we'll invest much in January, Steve? And what departments? Well, I think we definitely need a striker, in my opinion, and I think we probably need another centre half. To be honest, um, there's sometimes, when the two centre backs are really, really good. If a team throws the ball into the box and attacks them in that way, when we are attacked on the floor, sometimes Neumann is done. He's very athletic, Neumann, and he is fast, but he gets done sometimes by players on the ground. Um, I think positional awareness of Clara is much better than Neumann's. Neumann gets caught asleep sometimes. He loses concentration. They're both really good centre halves, but I'm just being like a little bit ultra critical here. And the other player that I think I'm still not 100% sold on his Ducks. We didn't see him on Saturday at all, and I've said it before that he gets bullied from time to time. That's what happened to him on Saturday. The centre half just had him in the pocket, and he wasn't that great against Watford. Um, but when I say I'm being ultra critical, I am because I'm just trying to think where we could have been better. It may well be against QPR that Lyndon Dykes is given a chance to lead the line. It's his former team, uh, so Uh, Stav Smith saying Ben Davies. Stav, like Ben is playing in League Three at the moment. I don't think he's going to be coming back. If we're looking to buy a left-sided centre half, I don't think we're going to get one in. It won't be Ben Davies. I just think it's like people asking for Alfie May to come back. I mean, it ain't going to happen. Alfie's a good League One player, and he did really well for us. He was offered a 1 year contract, but went to Huddersfield for 4 years instead. Fair enough, fine. But he scored 2 goals this season. He can't get into the side. Lee Harvey's there. How you doing, Lee? He's come to break my balls a little bit. Nice to see you, Lee. No, Stab, I don't think Ben Davies will be coming back, mate. I really don't. And he's good. But we can't keep, I think what we tend to do is look back on a season in League One and think, so and so did good, did well. So he would do well if we brought him back now. We're in the Championship now. And I don't think Ben Davies probably ain't quick enough in the for the Championship. Ben isn't. It wouldn't have hurt to have kept him, I agree, but we didn't. He went, and of course the other thing with Alfie May, and people are saying, well, they wouldn't be missing those. They wouldn't be missing those goals. That Alfie May wouldn't miss the opportunities Kyogi's had, but he wouldn't be in that position. He's not as quick. He doesn't think the same. Alfie May is more of a 6 yard box goal scorer. Kyogo is very, very, he's very versatile and he's quick, isn't he? He's so quick. Neil Scaller saying Ben Davies in the Championship with Oxford. Oxford he is, yeah, mate, you're right. Who went to... You're right, Neil, I'm sorry for saying that. Someone went to... Where? Port Vale. Who went to Port Vale? Anyway, yeah, but I don't think I don't think he'll be coming back, Neil. But I don't know. I may be wrong. Sam Cobley saying he agrees regarding Ducks invisible in the last 2 games. Give Dykes a go in Soul Club, maybe score. Yeah, Dykes could get a game, although I think Linden will be another one that probably goes on in the and goes at the end goes in in the January window. Lee Harvey saying bring on QPR and let's hope Kyogo scores. Can't believe that goal he missed. I don't know if he's going to be. I don't know how long the boss is going to keep faith in him, but I understand why he plays him, because to get into those positions where he misses those open goals, uh, you know, you got to have it. Sean Bullock saying he's covering right back when Iwata goes before. Well, the thing is, Sean, that's how we play. We always have 3 at the back out of possession, and I've said it at the start of this week. Uh, it is the start of this week. At the end of last week, when you play the game we play, you're gonna get caught at the back at times. The thing is, when we play this game, you have to be switched on all the time, and you cannot give the ball away cheaply. And it happens a lot. Like I was saying earlier about Neumann giving the ball away. He came forward again on Saturday. He brings the ball 3 quarters towards the halfway line, makes a pass that's cut out straight away. We're in trouble because he watches off down the right. Clara is to Neumann's left. Cochrane's right over on the left, pushing up. It happens. You can't have a player that's in 2 positions. So Iwata can't be pushing forward right at the top and then getting caught out at the back, because yet he can't get back. You can't throw 8 players forward and have 6 players back, because that makes 14. If you throw 8 players forward, and let's be honest, Neumann's been given the opportunity to go wide right. Clara we've seen pushing forward for right in towards the edge of the opposition penalty area on Saturday. If that ball gets taken off Clara, there's no centre half. I don't know what you mean, Sean. That's not 3 though, Steve. You have to come and explain that to me, mate. Who's talking about the duck there? I don't think I can't agree with you on the duck. He gets bullied. He does get bullied, Neil. He does. He's a Germans. They're not used to the pace of the game that in the Championship, and when you're playing 3 games in 7 days, it's a lot for them. I'm just going to read your thing again, Sean. Who's covering right back when Iwata goes forward, because the space is unreal? And then you said that's not 3 though, Steve. I understand that, mate. Stav is saying him and Clara were immense. Um, and the only reason he, he didn't sign is because Rangers. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, in League One, yeah, uh, because Rangers. The reason he didn't sign, mate, isn't because Rangers weren't sure what they were doing with him. He hung on to see what Rangers were going to offer him. He could have walked. He didn't have to wait. Um, Also, May went through a bad patch, and Kyogo, who's having his now, when he gets his first prize. I know, mate, but an 18 game bad patch. Alfie May went through 5 games without scoring. 18's a lot different. But I take your points on board. We're all, everyone has an opinion. Um, yeah, yeah, Sean. We have 3 at the back in possession. So 3 at the back in possession doesn't mean they sit on the edge of the penalty area. So when Iwata pushes forward and so does everyone else, the 3 centre backs are then more or less on the halfway line. And what happens is Cochrane then will go forward if the ball goes across the pitch to Dimmy Gray. Cochrane will go in behind him to support to pick the ball up off him if he needs him. That leaves 2 centre halves. You can't cover it, Just watch it, have a look at it and watch it and you'll see what happens. It really is. It's just one of. You can't play that lovely, attacking, aggressive football and not take risks. It's just how it is. You can put 5 at the back, like someone, I think Harry Parker said, and play the low block and hit teams on the break. Is that what you want to watch? No, I don't. Lee saying people forget Kyogo scored the tapping from great pass to Sofa. Well, yeah, I mean, you're totally right, Lee. He scored a goal. The tapping against Sheffield United, you're right, yeah. And I don't know how much time you give him. Sam Cobley agrees about too much space at the back when Iwata goes forward. What should have buried us with the space I would give him. Yeah, and I mean the other thing as well, Sam. To be fair, is Beadle made 2 or 3 absolute top draw saves on Saturday. People don't like to admit it, but he did. He kept us in the game really at 3-1. I think it isn't like Iwata going forward is something new because we've done it all season and we did it all last season with Laird, with Bright Samuel. Um, it's just that's what happens with that system because if you draw it on the board, yeah, theoretically that's that's right. This is how it theoretically works. But in a game situation, if you're one of the 2 centre halves or 3 centre halves on the halfway line when everyone else is in the opposition area attacking and the ball comes out in front of you, you go forward and pick the ball up. Now you've got 2 people at the back. The ball goes out wide left. Cochrane pushes up. We've got 1 at the back. And I've seen it on Saturday a couple of times when Southampton went deep. We literally got Clara sitting on the halfway line or who did I see come back? Doyle. Doyle does a lot of covering for Iwata. It's just it's how it is, isn't it? What can you do? Um, and when you give that much space away, so the only other way around that, Sean and Sam, is to change the way that we play. And I don't want to see that change. I love the way we're playing at the moment. The way Dimmy Gray and Patrick Roberts are playing, it's absolutely magic. 2 really, really good players. And the ball just sticks to them like Velcro, doesn't it? They're both great players. Stansfield never stops running. What we're missing at the moment is someone who can finish. The only other thing we can do, if Williamson's fit enough, bring him in, put him at the 10, play Stansfield at the top. But I think we'd missed Stansfield, across the penalty area in that through 10 role. So I don't know, what we need is another striker, and that's going to come in January, I think, and we need someone who can, has got a good finishing record. Not that Kyogo hasn't, he has, but you can only, we can't wait forever. We'll be coming to the last game of the season and saying, like, yeah, you'll score a hat trick today. Come on, guys. Um, and listen, you all know me. I'm the most positive Blues fan you could get. I never slag players. I'm not slagging him. It's like with Neumann, like with Ducks. You have to look clinically at the way a player plays. And I think this is a thing that there's no room for sentiment. But that doesn't mean that you have to, like, make shitty comments about players. If you think there's something wrong with the way a player plays, then say what you think is wrong with it. And then I could have an argument with you. Sam saying he loves Roberts going forward, just a bit lightweight on covering fullback. Yeah, I think what happens there, Sam, is when Iwata goes forward, it would usually be either Paik or Doyle to fill in for him if they're not too far forward. But the way we've started attacking recently, really, we just throw everyone at it, and I love that. But we've got to get caught, and I just think, and look at the difference in our goal scoring recently. Um, Neil Scullen saying Beadle had a lot to do on Saturday. Uh, Homer, 2 goals were his mistakes. I don't think it was a mistake, but he needs to parry away from the goal. I know what you're saying with that, Neil, but I made this point earlier that when a goalkeeper gets a ball hit at that speed and it goes down and he didn't, it was a save, right? He's parrying it, makes it sound as if he's got the opportunity and the time to decide where he's going to push it to. It was a good right-handed save. The ball just deflected off his hand back. Ideally it would have gone that way. I agree with you, but when he does that, you expect one of 4 defenders to be in front of the most dangerous man on the pitch. Armstrong again just left completely on his own. Come on, you've got to be honest about it. Um, you don't get the choice to when you make a save where the ball's going to bounce. I mean, you just don't. Obviously, if he gets the opportunity to push it away, that's what he wants to do. He doesn't go down and think, I'm going to push this into the middle. Of course he doesn't. Um, he missed the first as well. I don't understand what you mean. He needs to parry away from it. He missed the first. Well, do you mean that one, the left-footed shot from Aziz that just crept in the far post? Do you mean that one? He missed. Well, he missed all 3. Then he's a goalkeeper. He didn't save any of the 3 goals that went in. Other than that, he made saves. He made saves. Other than that, he missed the first as well. I ain't having that, mate. That first goal, no way. Have a look at the defenders. I'll tell you what, Neil. Tell me about in the side when those second and third goals went in. Explain to me where the defenders were as well, and tell us who the defenders were that let the goalkeeper down. He missed the first as well. Fucking hell. Of course he missed it. What do you mean he missed it? The ball went in the net. Any time the ball goes in the net, the goalkeeper misses it. So it doesn't matter how good a shot or whatever position it's in, it's the keeper's fault because he didn't save it. Fair enough. Other than that, made saves, but were they difficult? Yeah, not sure he should be dropped. He's not going to be dropped. Why would he be dropped? He's not going to be dropped, so it's not going to happen. Steve Rudd. Steve, do you still think we're going up with your wife? Yeah, I think we can go up, definitely. We have and it's like I was saying, I was speaking to Mark Halsey earlier, and he said exactly the same about QPR. They're so good at times, and then at other times they just don't turn up. It's a really difficult thing to do, and you have to try and keep on top of the form. Keep your head together. Don't be bullied away from home. It's really. I don't know the answer. I'm not a manager. I've played the game of working in rehabilitation, but I'm not a footballer. So we can't put ourselves in their heads. But It's so frustrating, really. Stabby's saying Alfie made a 12 goal. I don't remember that 12 goals. I remember five, Stab. You've obviously checked it. You must be right. Uh, yeah, like I say, I don't pick the team. The manager does, and to give him more time, I don't mind that. I don't mind him coming on with 20 minutes to go because he's a nuisance. No, I mean the fact that Beadle was well behind it. Watch it. See, it goes underneath you. It doesn't. Listen, you know what? You don't like Beadle, fair enough. A lot of people don't like him. He's a young kid. He's an English international goalkeeper. He's just won a European trophy. Listen, if he's your scapegoat at the moment, go for it. It's fine. You don't see any of the defenders did anything wrong, Neil, I presume. You think the defence played really well, did you, in front of him the other night? Um, I like Kyogo, and the thing that you have to think about as well is that if, all right, he doesn't put those away, but he always draws defenders to him because he's so quick. They frighten him. Just going back to that one, Neil. I mean, you're the only person, even like the biggest Beagle haters. I mean, and there's a lot of them. Um, I don't know. I haven't heard anyone else say that that first goal went under his arms. Well, Aziz it was a fast finish. It could have gone over his arms. It could have gone under his arms. It could have gone over his head. It went in the net. It was a really good finish by a really good player, and it went just inside the far post. I don't know. You feel that? Fine. Um, the Kyogo miss on Saturday, do you think Chris will put him on starting 11? I don't think he'll start him, to be honest. And I don't think he's a player that really wants starting. I think it's good. Kyogo's a good substitute. That one that he missed with the empty net, it wasn't as easy as it looked. Everyone's saying, oh, Jesus, like he should have, what's the matter with him? Why didn't he put it away? That ball fell and it came at pace. He did. I mean, he did. He was a little bit hurried hitting it, but in all honesty, I think anyone that hits that from there thinks it's going to go in the net. He was unfortunate, and it wasn't that easy a goal. I don't know what Sean's laughing at, but let me know, Sean. Is it me? Gary Kelly, I like to see Leonard in the midfield, three away from home. Yeah, I mean, I said at the very start of the season that we could play the Christmas tree away from home, and I think it'd be quite a good setup with the back four, particularly now that we're a little bit short on defenders. So Iwata's got to go in there, and then have Leonard, Doyle, and Pike as a three in front of the back four, then have two, a right and left side in midfield and one striker. It's a possibility, guys. I mean, it's something I would look at. But like I said, I'm not a manager, obviously. Uh, Neil's going to say, you're having a laugh. Beadle at the first one. Under his arms, what are you talking about? He has to take responsibility for that from that distance. So where were the defenders, mate? Neil, you haven't mentioned the defenders yet. I think we're going to go off air. If we go off now, right, thank you so much for coming on. But my mouse is making a few little doddery moves, so we won't come back on, but it's been nice talking to you. From the distance, texting can't give you a full-blown report about every part of the game. No, but you take an awful lot of time to explain why. And I'm not having a laugh. I watched the game. I'm not having a laugh. Of course, I'm not. I don't think it's funny. You might enjoy slating the players. Carry on, do it. Up to you. That it's your prerogative. It's not something I do. I'll make sensible comments about goalkeepers. I said the second one he could have done better with. Um, uh, why don't you take the time that you just spent explaining about Beadle, explaining about where Neumann was when the first and the third goal went in? Do that now. You got time. You're still here. Sean saying, I think Kyogo should start in place of Dux. Yeah. I don't, like I said, I don't know if Kyogo's a 90-minute player. I think he's more an half an hour player. If he comes on with, I don't know if he's going to be a 90-minute man, Sean. Um, it's an interesting one. I wouldn't say that. You know, see, I can't see it all over. Watch it again and tell me. I don't know. I've watched it several times. It's not the goalkeeper's fault. You carry on. And listen, go and write what you want about the goalkeeper. It's fine. You don't like him, perfect. No worry at all. Um, I think Kogo should start. No, I don't think Kogo should start myself. I'd rather have him on the bench and have the option. Um, But it could start him. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? How like his mate, we just got someone there like slating the goalkeeper. But people don't mind Kyogo missing 11 or 12 open nets. And I'm not having a go at Kyogo. I love him to bits. He's a lovely little fella, and I'd love him to score goals. Of course, I would. I'd love Kyogo to score a hatful of goals. I'd like whichever goalkeeper it is never to let another goal in. Of course I would. I'm a Birmingham City supporter. One thing I don't do is just publicly slag the players. He's a young lad. Give the kid a chance. Have a go at a few of the defenders that were missing in action on Saturday. Steve Rudd, January window is notoriously difficult. It is, mate. Going by what Davis said, I think Wagner is going off for it with a few. I hope so. I really hope so. Mitrovic, anyone? Um, yeah, yeah, I do. I agree with you, Stephen. I think that if we spend well, like if you're Wagner, you're looking at this thinking, looking like we are at the table and thinking anyone could go up here. We could actually go up. I think we could, and we got the money to do it, and we got to do it. Liavi, yeah, I like him, mate. He's a good goalkeeper. Sean Bullock, I don't think Beadle was at fault. I can't see it, Sean. Where's it gone? Uh, for the first goal, it's a cracking shot. Of course, it was, mate. I mean, at the time, you listen to Sky reporter, you listen to the Blues ones. They're saying like, "No, what a fabulous goal." As he's a lovely player. He used to play for the Villa, But there you go. But yeah, and he made the second goal as well. And he was just given too much room by the defence too. Paul James, the defenders have already got stick off most people. Yeah, I think so, Paul. I don't want him to get stick. I'm not. I'm just saying, if you're going to give the goalkeeper stick, blame the people that exposed him. Um, Beadle has got a lot of stick, but they were so slow to support him. I know, man, I know. But I feel sorry for us. Every time we score, we can see the goal. I think, is there any way they can blame the goalkeeper for that? Because I know if there's any one little tiny chance Beadle can get blamed for something, they'll blame him. And it isn't even a case that they understand what's happened. It's like someone will go, "Oh, that was Beadle's fault." And everyone else, "Oh, it was." It's like a social media frenzy. It says a lot about some of our supporters, unfortunately. Um, our supporters never used to be like that. We didn't have that. We all had a little bit of a bit of a laugh about stuff, but to stick stuff on social media the way they do, and the club reads the social media. I don't care. You think what you want. I'm telling you now, they read our group. I can promise you that. And it ain't nice. It ain't nice for the club to read it. It's not nice for the players to read it. And I hope they don't. I hope they try to stay away from it, but it's very difficult to. Um, yeah, you know what, Sean? You're saying that about that goal. Aziz would be a lovely signing for us. He ain't going to leave Southampton, but what a nice signing. The other one, of course, would be the Norwich centre forward, the American lad. Someone's going to tell me his name. But they want 20 million for him. So I think what we might do, probably, we could be going abroad again for a player. I don't slight anyone, Neil. Did you hear what I just said? I don't want anyone to slight our players. You like to do it, you carry on and do it. But I tell you what, do it somewhere else. Uh, Lee Harvey, Sean Bullock agree. No stopping that. There wasn't, mate. It was a great shot. Paul James saying the defenders have already got stick off most people. Who said that one? Yeah, read that one. I'm not going to get into a slanging match on here because the geezer that's doing it is just proving what you know what social media trolling is all about, really, isn't it? Um, yeah. So, what we think about tomorrow is everyone sort of confident about tomorrow's game at QPR? It's not an easy one. Uh, the QPR are a team that can, on their day, beat anyone, and then Coventry beat them 7-1. What if you watch the podcast I had with Mark Halsey later on tonight? It'll be on in the group about 5:30 UK. You can hear him say that their one weakness is that they're a little bit uh, weak defensively sometimes, which suits us, and that the manager doesn't know his best 11. Well, where have we heard that from until a few weeks ago, till we sort of nailed it, didn't we? Um, Lee Harvey saying Sean Bullock agreed, no stopping that. No, it wasn't. Paul James, the defenders have already got stick there. Matthew Butler, Sargent, that's it, Matt. Sargent, not a lovely centre forward, and he is a big lad, and he would be ideal for us. But what can you do? Absolutely love CD, but we're going to stick with him if away for. I think he will, Steve. I think he's going to have this season at least to get it right, and then we see what happens. I don't think anyone. You can't expect someone to come straight out of Division One and win the championship, but I don't know. Listen, it's a ruthless game we're in, isn't it? And we know what Tom Wagner wants. And it would be so sad if anything happened to Chris Davies because he's a very good manager, and I don't think he's going to be going anywhere, but we don't know. We're going to get someone else from Mills. There's family seem to have an opinion, but no one else is allowed to discuss an opinion. Don't slight anyone. Listen, mate, think what you want, right? We've just all seen a great example of someone trolling a defender, and that defender was Beadle. Okay, you've just done it. I'm not slating. I'm not asking anyone to slate the defenders. I just said it. You don't listen, but I just said it a few minutes ago that I don't want anyone to slate anyone. I'm just saying, if you think the goalkeeper made mistakes, tell me where the defenders were that were given free range on his goal. That's all. I don't want you to do anything and do what you want. Just don't do it there. Or carry on. Carry on trolling. It don't matter. Um, CD's going nowhere. The league, if the league finished today, I'd be very happy. I wouldn't. You know what, Lee? I wouldn't be happy with it. Um, I wouldn't be happy with it because I want us to go up, and I think we're good enough to. But listen, it's all right, isn't it? Neil Skelton is saying, love Cargo, I hope it gets one. So I do as well. Neil, I love you too, Neil. But I think, I would love Kyogo to score. Um, I was so gutted on. You probably get the same feeling as me, you guys. That when the ball drops to him, my heart goes in my mouth because I think he's going to score, and then fucking doesn't score. And oh Jesus, And then you get the disappointment, particularly on Saturday when it was 3-1. That goes in, it's 3-2, and Southampton are just gonna, they're just gonna fill the box with defenders, aren't they? So then we got every chance of scoring. So it could have cost us a point, but we don't want to individually blame players. He just missed a really good chance, and I want him to score. I want him to score. And I think tomorrow, bring them off the bench and let's just see what happens. Matthew Butler saying, do you think we have much money to spend in January? Um, I, I don't know. I think we have got room to spend because we did a few clever moves uh, with the money, like the Doyle thing and stuff like that. So I think we have got money. Next season it all changes, of course. In the Premier League, it all changes next season. I think it's in Championship as well, where they only allow certain things to count as much as income. So, like naming the ground rights isn't part of that. Bringing supporters through the gate is. Commercial sales is. So, and then you can't spend more than 80% of your income on players, and get this, and their agents. So I think agents are going to start to bite the dust soon, because the players, they're going to want to have to pay for the agents themselves, but that's what's going to happen, because clubs aren't allowed to pay for them anymore. Well, they can, but they can't claim it against FFP. So, Matthew Butler, do you think we are? Yeah. Yeah, so what I say they can't claim it against FFP, what I mean is, um, that it's included in player wage. You know, Steve Rudd, loads of fans want Doyle and Roberts permanently. Think we can do it? I think there's already a plan in place for Doyle. Uh, I may be wrong here, but this is, and I have some contacts at Blues, but I'm not pretending to know anything anyone else doesn't know. But the widely thought thing is an agreement to, and it helped both clubs. So Blues didn't want to be paying 5 million for Doyle in the close season. So what they did was, them and Wolves had this idea of this loan. At the end of the season, at the end of that period, we buy him. If we're in the Premier League, we pay 10 million. If we're not, we pay 7, something like that. So at the moment, it's a loan, but I think the long term uh, transfer is already there. With Roberts, I don't know, and I think that would also depend from our point of view on the league we're in. I think if we go up, I don't think he'll sign. He might, Roberts will be a good squad player. He's played in the Premier League before, but it may be that we look for younger players. I don't know. Matthew Butler says Kyogo really needs to get more game time to get that goal. I'd love to see him start, but I only think that it would change if we drop the duck and put Stanley in the 10. Well, that's how it would have to be. Definitely, it would have to be like that, with Stansfield in the 10. And Stansfield's in the 10 now anyway. Um, if I had to choose a starter between Ducks and Kyogo, I would choose Kyogo. But if I had to pick a striker, I would pick Stansfield and have someone in a 10 behind him. You know, you can play Dykes in the 10, and he's got a bit of strength and a bit of height for away games. We've got Williamson coming back, I don't know when. So, there's a lot of options there. Of course, Anderson can play the 10 as well, or Anderson can play wide left and Dimmy can play the 10. So there are options. Sean Bullock saying that when he worked at the Blues, David Sudge used to go mad about agents' fees. He used to say the players' agents who should be paying for them. Absolutely, I agree with that, Sean. I think David Gold was right with that, because you're a player. You want an agent to go out and find your clubs and that. Okay, so how much the agent want? Well, I want 10%. Okay, great. Yeah, we'll do that then. All right. So when they go to a club that wants him, they say, right, what's the cost? Well, it's 10 million plus the 10% for me. So that's 11 million. So why are the club paying for the aid for the? It's like you buying a bar of chocolate and paying them for advertising it. It's like fucking mental, isn't it? No other world does that happen. It's like with the income tax. So that when you hear the players on 20 grand a week, that's net. The club pays his tax. Fucking hell. And we know that from seeing all the Blues accounts when Tony got them. Tony Routley got them, and Keith. Um, Yeah, so listen, we've had a fairly lively hour, um, and if Neil's still on, Neil Skeldon, listen, mate, I don't want to fall out with anyone. I love everyone that comes onto the project, and we're all entitled to our views, but try and be kind to the players, because they don't. If you're having to go at Beadle, or if you're having to go at Kyogo, if you're having to go at whoever, just remember that they don't pick themselves, the manager picks them. They can only do what they do. So if you think the manager's gone wrong, then have a go at the manager, because I hate that, particularly on social media, stuff about the players. I know how much it gets them down. Um, I honestly do know that. So, just think about it before you do it. But no, listen, we're all fans, and I know that all of us, when we make comments, we're only doing it because we're disappointed that we haven't won or something. it's no coincidence that when we win, everyone's happy, and when we lose, everyone's pissed off. And sometimes you need, if you ain't got a cat, you need someone to kick, don't you? But Steve Rudd, we're winning tomorrow 2-1. Keep right over on and maybe Kyogo for the winner. Wouldn't it be great if we won tomorrow and Kyogo got the winner and Beadle saved 2 penalties or 3? But I think, listen, I always fancy us every game we play, so it's no point asking me. But I think we've got a marvellous chance tomorrow of doing something, and just fingers crossed. I really hope we can. And it's been great talking to you. Listen, bloody hell, we stayed on today for an hour and 5 minutes. It has been interesting, Paul. Thank you guys for coming to join me. Yeah, but I don't, mate. I don't say about, what I've said about Ducks, and what I've said is I've said I think Neumann is a really good defender in this league. He's fast, he's strong. I don't think he's good enough for a Premier League. I've said Ducks is too hot and cold for me, and he can get bullied. Um, And I'm glad you love Beadle. He's a young goalkeeper. He's going to play for England, this lad is. And let's hope we can get him in the close season. Sean, thank you, mate. Neil, thank you for joining us. Who else we got there? Just say a quick goodbye to Paul James, of course, regulars, Steve Rudd, Sean Bulldog, Matthew Butler. I didn't put this on earlier because I didn't think I'd be free because of the podcast with Mark Halsey, but we went early on it, so that was really good. So hopefully I'll be talking to you on Wednesday, and we'll be celebrating 3 points tomorrow. 3 points tomorrow could put us fourth. Fucking what a crazy league, isn't it? But there you go. Getting messages now from people. Um, just coming right down. It's all about opinions. It is about opinions, of course it is. And listen, we all love the Blues, and that's the main thing. Lee, be lucky too, mate. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And listen, have a great evening. We're watching tomorrow night, won't we? 9 o'clock kickoff. Come on, you Blue Boys. Come on, you Blue Boys. I'll see you, lads. Love you all. See ya.